Hi, I'm Donna Lach from Plymouth. I'm an aurora photographer. Actually, I've been taking photos since I was 10 years old. I've been taking aurora photos since 2014. I'm also a citizen scientist. My passion for photography has kept me taking photos for hobby and not necessarily as a business. I do sell a little bit here and there, but mostly I enjoy taking photos of flowers and wildlife and scenery, and now especially the northern lights. I participate in citizen science by reporting auroras, and have been included in several publications, people interviewing me about different features about the aurora. And this photo was taken on November 4th, 2021, when we had a huge solar storm. I was up almost all night taking photos of the aurora, and I look forward tonight. There is another solar storm headed our way, so we should get some good aurora tonight. If that smoke dissipates, then tonight, this is the 20th of July, should be a good aurora night. Thanks for your interest.
All right, thank you.
My name is Kerri Wilson, and I'm a self-taught artist from Hamilton, Manitoba. I've worked on this series of musicians as part of my healing journey with MS. They brought me inspiration, and all of this is done with mixed media collage. And each artist signifies some important aspect that helped me through my process in the last 2 years since I've been off work. Okay, so with John Lennon, I created him because I was kind of weighed down by this world that we live in. And my thought was, would John Lennon have liked this world we lived in, and how would things be different if he survived? And I just captured the light in him, and it just made me imagine what would this world be like if he had lived. So I did him. The meaning behind Amy Winehouse, the significance for her is that she struggled with addiction, and she didn't surround herself with people who supported her best interests. She kept going back to toxic relationships, and for me it's a reminder that sometimes you have to choose healthier relationships to be well. Dolly Parton, I chose her because number one, I love her music and she's just been an icon, but she really stresses the importance of literacy in the world, as well as she did not change who she was for what people thought she should be. She was very true to herself, and she said no when she needed to say no, and to me that means that she's a very strong woman. Elton John is one of my favorites. He's one of my most recent ones. He came together pretty quick in the course of a week while I was at an artist retreat, and I worked on him every day, and he was from start to finish all the way through. And I chose that image of Elton John to paint because I felt that he was really at peace with who he is in that pose, and that he was no longer struggling to belong. He was just belonging. And I find that very, very inspiring to accept who you are. Snoop Dogg, beside me here, he is a tale of reinventing himself. So Snoop Dogg has made a lot of bad choices in his life, or unsavory choices maybe. He didn't really change who he was. He had firm beliefs and he didn't really morph, but in his personality, however, he did change by always doing better the next time. And he's been really an evolution, and I find it interesting that he is writing children's affirmations. And when you listen to some of his older music, it is pretty raunchy. And I just thought that he was a really good example of no matter what your past or your history is, you can always choose better to do better. And then my last one is Alice Cooper. With Alice Cooper, he has a whole bunch of script that's collaged in the back, and it is the script is side effects of drugs that I have to take for my MS, and I put them upside down because I think it's absolutely backwards that we would sign up for a bunch of side effects for hope. I also chose to do him because he was the original theatrical rock star, and his real life persona is very different than what he portrayed on the stage. So for me, Alice Cooper represents that common acting that when people say I'm fine when they're maybe not. So he signifies the theatrics that we all go through in life to make other people think something different. Turns out Alice Cooper is a very nice guy, and I really think that he was really interesting in that he had a stage presence, which is very different than who he really is at the core. And that's, I have a few more. I'm doing Elvis because he's just really fun and iconic, and Elvis got taken advantage of in his life, and he set out to be very different, but he got caught up in it all. And my last one is Willie Nelson, and he just reminds me of my grandpa, and that he stayed true to himself even when it wasn't cool. He believed in what he believed, and he continued to do it, and he's still continuing to do it at 93 years old. So for me, he's an inspiration because of his longevity, and that he was just cool to himself, and he didn't let anybody change him either. And I think that's a really strong message, that we need to own who we are and be okay with it. And that's all the musicians I have now.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
think it's just a beautiful day to have this kind of an event, and there's been a ton of very interesting people through here. And so I am from Cypress River, and I do needle felting. That cow is needle felted. It's one poke at a time, and I use my daughter's fleece, and I wash it and card it and dye it and do all the things to it before I needle felt. So that's what I do, and I'm a knitter as well, and I love fleece and fiber and artwork, and I'm so glad that people open their gardens and have these beautiful events. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Is it Brenda or is it somebody else? I don't think Brenda has her stuff there. Brenda, she works for a volunteer.
Okay, my name is Glenda MacPhee. I'm the part owner of this property, and we've got 9 acres. I've developed a cutting area. I sell bouquets throughout the summer, and I've expanded. I've got a more wildflower meadow area as well as pumpkin patch there this year. And my sister and I built this little nook here to sit and enjoy the yard. And yeah, we're open for garden tours throughout the summer, so people can either buy my bouquets or come for garden tours.
The sculptures are made of clay and painted with acrylic, and I sell them at the Pulse Gallery in Winnipeg, so that's a great place. They love polar bears in there because people go up to Churchill and come back, so I make quite a few polar bears. And these are pretty old. They're very large, hard to get in a kiln, but I manage. And then my paintings are done with a bit of salt, and I do the image, and then I'll decorate it. But I see all these little things with the salt. It makes interesting shapes, and then they become what they really are. You can see things in there, so I just develop what I see. And then this wolf was just, this is actually a print, but I paint on the print sometimes if I want to change them up a bit. So that I paint animals. I love animals, but lately I've been doing abstracts. But this cat is full of images. Like inside, there's probably 100 things that are in that painting. I've never counted them. But you go along and you're painting, and then the salt gives you that kind of texture, and the texture brings out images, and that's what I go with. And then that's just another horse. So, and that's about it.
I'm Elaine Rawlings from Hamiota, and I do watercolor, and my favorite thing is teaching. So I do lots of adult art teaching. and some kids.
Would you like to tell us about some of your art here?
Okay, well, these are my summer pictures. They hang in my cabin, so I took them off the wall before we came here. They're mostly my pets and my grandchildren, but there's a few pictures of some shorebirds, which I took those pictures in Mexico when we traveled there in the winter. So yeah, this is a picture of my grandson when he was 2 years old. His parents took him on a train ride from the Rivers train station, and the train was 2 hours late, and he sat there and waited patiently for the train to arrive. So that one's called Waiting for the Train. So yeah, I really enjoy doing pictures of my grandkids that when they're doing different activities and things. Now I'm really painting a lot of baseball pictures because they're all into baseball now. So yeah, I just enjoy just doing art that represents what's happening in my life and in the lives of my grandchildren. And of course, I am very much a dog person, so I do lots of pictures of my pets. So there you go. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, no. But I've never been there. But I've been since I retired from teaching. I've been to the East Coast 4 times. I never get tired of it.
And then after that, we went to Iceland, 3 ports in Iceland, and then we went to Liverpool, and then we went to Belfast, and from Belfast we went to Southampton.